Hi guys, I'm filming this video with my new cell phone finally. So I hope the image is going to be much better. I've been receiving some questions lately, and I've received one question from somebody in my audience. It was via email, and I told this person that I would reply with a video that I would also share with you. So I want to share this with everybody in hopes that it can help. Okay, so I'm going to read it now from my laptop. I'm sorry, I'm going to look away for a bit, but here's how it sounds. Hi, how are you? Love your videos. I wanted to submit a question of my own. It's a bit weird, but I thought I would ask it anyways. I have a small penis humiliation fetish and was wondering if I should stop feeling like this because it's weird to let my future partner be aware of this. I'm also into humiliation pegging, example, a girl wearing a strap-on and comparing her strap-on to my size. I have never asked a girl to do any of these things to me before, but I'm curious about it and wanted your thoughts on it. So I told this guy that I asked him if it was okay to do a video. He said yes. That's why I'm sharing. It doesn't matter who he is, where he's from. That's not important. The question is. So when I actually took my time. So this question was sent in, I think, about a week ago. I took my time with it because I don't have any particular fetishes, and I've worked with them just in my training. Also, I've had a kink collaborator. This was Kitty. You've seen some of my videos from last year, and she's more familiar with that. Now she's a bit charged with her own life and things that have happened with her. Beautiful things, by the way. So I said, okay, here's how I can help. What I know about fetishes is that sometimes they are the only way to arousal. And the challenge is that the other person may not get aroused in the way that you get aroused. So this is the risk that I see with fetishes. Now, assuming that, so I'm going to answer in two situations. One, you go and share this and your partner hears it and all of a sudden she's realizing that she's not feeling the same, or she doesn't feel aroused, she doesn't understand this. And the second scenario where she gets it to a certain degree, or to a whole great degree, which is a very fortunate case. So I will just look at these two situations. Obviously, reality can bring about more situations out there. I just want to focus on these two for now and give you some sort of guidance. Now, in the first case where she hears this from you, so you take your courage and tell her exactly what you've written here, and you share this. You become vulnerable with a woman that you want to have a relationship with. And for whatever reason, she doesn't get it. Maybe she's not into kink. Maybe she's not aware of this kind of pleasure. Maybe she has some triggers of her own with guilt, with shame, with anything. So she's uncomfortable. So this is, let's say, a ground that she doesn't fully grasp. So what do you do in that situation? What I would ask you is, how well are you equipped at catching yourself if, for whatever reason, your partner cannot catch you? And I'm talking figuratively here. Let's say that you take a risk, you show this, and she doesn't react in the way that you would want her to, so you're sort of falling. You feel like falling emotionally. How well equipped are you at catching yourself? And with this one, it's very simple. Are you okay with showing encouragement to yourself? Like, do you have enough self-esteem that if somebody doesn't get it, not that they are judging you, they just don't get it, they don't have that language, Are you okay with catching yourself and coming back to a discussion from a balanced point of view? Okay, I understand. This is something new to you. You just don't understand it for now, for whatever reason. That's okay. I'm glad that I could at least have shared this with you, and I'm glad that you at least heard me out. And if this is completely new to you, then for me, this is awesome. It's amazing. I think a woman that has that power to play with this, but not take it too far, as in not truly insult, not truly disconsider, but just understand that this is the way somebody feels pleasure and they can engage in this sort of role play with me. Super amazing. So the message here is, okay, you understand that she may not have this awareness. For you, you also understand that you are wired like this, and it's okay to own it. That's part of intimacy, by the way. And that's part of emotional intimacy. Your ability to share something like this with somebody else, and that other person's ability to at least be present with it, hear it, receive it, as in, okay, I see you, I understand that this is valid for you. If she or he, it doesn't matter who the person is, can also go, wow, I think you're amazing to have the courage to own this. I've never heard somebody say like this. Or so that would be amazing if you have that kind of person. If you don't, again, how strong are you, or how strong are you willing to get in order to catch yourself in case the other person just doesn't have a reference for that. And in the second situation, where she is completely and totally okay with it, in the best case, or simply, okay, she gets it, she's curious, she wants to try it if she's never done it. Well, in case she gets it completely, wow, you're one lucky son of a gun. You found somebody who thinks the same, who's excited about the same things. And that's one of the most important and beautiful gifts, by the way, in intimacy. You don't make those happen, they just happen. So yeah, you just receive them from life. And the only thing there is, okay, how do you contain your excitement to actually, not necessarily work in that moment, but just allow the space for things to unfold naturally. And whenever time comes, you get in with that play, and she's in, you're all in, and you're telling one another how you feel about it, what you actually get from the actual experience. So the emotion of fulfillment, which is excellent for learning new things, by the way, can be used exactly for this, to share, wow, this is what it did for me, and this is what I never saw coming. Maybe it wasn't so great, but hey, I could handle it because this was so great. So the only mastery there, if I can call it like that, is for you to use that positive situation to grow and to share how you've grown. And also to at least ask the person, okay, what was it like for you? I mean, how do you feel? How do you see yourself? Are you okay with this? Are you great with this? Did you learn anything? I mean, how do you want to do it different next time? By the way, that's one of the best feedback questions ever. How do you want to do it different next time? Or how do you want to do it better next time? So you're talking about a projected future, and you're not talking about things that didn't work so well in the present. You're just saying, okay, this is what I would do differently or better. So that's, yeah. And in case she's open, she hasn't really tried it, but she's open, she doesn't really know, so she has some reticence to it. The only question for you here is, how well can you ensure a safe space? Okay, so this is, by the way, this is a pretty crazy situation, and I guess that not so many people do this as I don't know, on a daily basis, on a common basis, on a monthly or weekly basis. So it is out of the ordinary, and owning that like really owning that within you and being aware, okay, I'm saying and I'm asking for something here that is a bit unusual. Okay. Even if she's like, okay, I don't know what to say to that. I'm not sure what to do with this. I'm not sure if I would fit in. So you're sharing this with a woman and she's a bit confused. It's okay, you know, it's human. How well equipped are you to understand that reaction and also understand yourself? Okay, well, I'm glad I actually shared this. I'm glad that you heard me. I understand that this is unusual. You can just, you know, let it sit down, cool off, and you can talk about this with me at a, I don't know, in the future. So not make it such a big deal in case she doesn't know how to react. With justified reason, because she's never heard of this again. Not that she's uninterested in it, she just doesn't know how to do it. Or maybe there's a lot of fear, a lot of excitement mixed with that fear and anxiety. And so, yeah, overall, maybe this mix can turn into something good. But I would say don't push it with that person. Just thank them for hearing you out. Thank them for not judging you. And that's it. Try to move on the conversation to something else. But all of these three scenarios, in essence, that I've presented here, mean that you need to be okay with your own fetish and yourself speaking about this fetish and yourself being vulnerable with somebody else. And how do you do that? Well, that's called sexual esteem, in my words. I have no idea if this expression exists out there. And you build your own sexual esteem in various ways. You simply go on and do this. And yeah, you engage in your fetishes as much as you can on your own, but you engage in them not just to simply, I don't know, just for the sake of them. You also engage in them to feel yourself and to understand how you are with this, how you're feeling to utter those words yourself. By the way, that's the toughest thing ever. Before you ask anybody to do something, can you do it for yourself? It's the general expression, lead by your own example. So you don't ask somebody something that you haven't done before. That's one of the challenging things to do for yourself. Secondly, how you would build your sexual esteem wherever you are on the world. I figured we're not from the same country, from your name and everything. But where you live, is there a therapist, a coach, a body worker, a tantric practitioner, anybody with whom you can address this topic and perhaps work around it somehow? Like, these people they're not your intimate partners, but they can help you go through an experience, especially when it's not about sex, because nobody, unless they're a sex worker, they don't have sex with you, they don't really engage in those practices with you, but they can do a role play with you up to a certain point, or they can help you think about this and talk about this and imagine, and as you're imagining, express yourself, what you're feeling, what your fears are, how they come up and everything. So they can hold a process for you, a self-awareness process for you, and self-learning process for you. And I would definitely go there with that, especially if you have many worries or fears or anxieties around this. Yes, go to a specialist and ask for their professional help. There's no shame in that. Absolutely none. So this would be my my input, even though I am not into this particular fetish for many reasons. First of all, I'm not a man. I would never be able to have comparison with that. And I'm not laughing at you. I'm just simply stating my own situation. And I'm not necessarily a kink expert, but I took it from a coaching perspective and from a human, you know, I'm also a sexual being. So this is how I would see it. There are many questions here. Maybe you can replay this, and whatever you do, take your time. Take your time with this. Take your time to really get used to this. Take your time to ask for proper help. Take your time to receive proper help. No transformation comes overnight. So maybe you want to go to a therapist or to a counselor or to a coach once, twice, 3 times. If you don't have your own judgment or your own fears around it, also, by the way, because that matters as well. So whatever you do, take your time, but do something about it. I mean, I want to appreciate and acknowledge you for sending this question in and for accepting that I turn this into a public answer for a lot of my people out there. I hope this helps you and perhaps many others. And if there are any other people here who want to jump in with their suggestions, experiences perhaps on either side of this, even if they're men or women, sure, maybe you want to check out further comments as well. I encourage anybody to contribute. So that's it. I hope this helps. Enjoy, and yeah, let me know in the comments with whatever ID you want to choose, if you've applied this, how it went for you. I'd also be curious, or you can send me an email and I can share it with my with the people here. So that's it. Bye.